Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank those who sent this story to my email address, theafcmatters@gmail.com. It's also in the description box. But this particular story was really heartbreaking. But before I give any opinions about the story, I do have to give the disclaimer. I got to remember to do this for each and every story just to make sure you guys understand that some of this content you might find to be offensive and controversial. The information comes from many different sources. My opinion might bother you as well. But the point is to try to help these children going forward and use these stories as cautionary tales. Viewer discretion is advised, and that is your official disclaimer. I'm getting pretty good at reading that. But this story comes out of Minnesota, and Minnesota takes the L today. I know my hand is a little broken, so y'all don't laugh at me sticking my hand up here, but y'all understand what's going on here today, right? A Minnesota mother who was accused of fatally shooting her 6-year-old son. Let me say that again. I cannot stress that enough. She shot her son with a gun. And I want it because this is a very hot topic issue right about now with guns in America. And everybody feels like, well, we don't need any more guns. That's like, people ain't out here poisoning children. People ain't out here stabbing children. People ain't out here running children over with cars or throwing children out of windows or drowning them in pools or bathtubs, like we all know on the AFC podcast, right? How many stories have we done about children and bathtubs, huh? People have actually sat on their children until they died, or exercised their children, or starved their children. The point is, it doesn't matter the instrument. What matters is that the crime needs to be punished, period. You don't blame the instrument that they used, right? We're not going to stop making forks because people decide to use them in an illegal way. We're not going to stop making baseball bats because people decide to go out and go do some stupid SHIT. Right? We're not going to stop making cars because people decide to go play bumper cars in real life and run into people and kill them, right? A gun is an inanimate object. Big word for you. Inanimate object. It doesn't do anything. It's the person who has that object in their hand that makes the bad choices. We won't talk about changing the mentality or how we even bringing children into this world, but yet we'll continue to keep putting out this legislation that ain't really getting anything done. We got all these strong gun laws. Let's move past that. It does have to pertain to the story, though. It really does. This woman is accused of shooting her 6-year-old son after allegedly visiting a firing range prior to the killing so that she could learn how to use her new gun. Isn't that something? Hashtag premeditated. Hashtag premeditated. That sounds like she trained in order to end her son's life. That should be an automatic premeditated murder charge, life in prison, or even potentially the death sentence. Okay? Now, and I'm getting this article from people.com, so thank you very much for the article, but they confirmed that Julissa Angelica Ginrich Thaler, Thler, if that's how you pronounce her name, cool. If it's not, I don't really care. I don't really care to pronounce criminals' names properly. It is what it is. 28 years old, and she has been charged with second-degree intentional murder in connection with the death of her kindergartner son, Eli Hart. One of the biggest questions I would ask is why. The most important question you could ask is why. And give a shout out to Tommy, by the way, because he taught me that. The best question you could always ask is why. Why second degree? How second degree when this was planned and it was intentional? I would love for somebody who knows a little bit about the law, or maybe the law in Minnesota maybe is too soft to put forth the legislation to make it tough on criminals out there. Second degree intentional? You took a gun, shot and killed your son, and that gets you second degree? Huh.
They've got men over here getting life sentences for that. And then they're giving her a second degree. That doesn't make any sense.
That makes no sense. Anyway, the allegations against the mother were revealed on Friday by the Orono Police Department, citing the criminal complaint in the case KSTP KSTP-TV, sorry, that's a long name, the Star Tribune, and KARE-11 all report that a friend of the mother's spoke to detectives and allegedly said that the young mother had expressed an interest in learning how to use a shotgun. The friend told the police the mother, Thaler, had purchased a shotgun in mid-March, the complaint alleges, according to the reports. The two had visited a gun range over 2 days so that she could learn how to use the weapon, the complaint alleges. The police alleged that the mother, Thaler, would conceal the weapon in a gray blanket whenever she left her apartment with it. A gray blanket was recovered from the trunk of her car, where Eli's body was also discovered. Thaler's car was found by the Roanoke police in Mound, Minnesota, after officers witnessed a woman driving on one rim and a shattered out windshield. Chief Corey told reporters. I can't pronounce his last name either. I don't know why they got all these detectives and lieutenants with these names I can't pronounce, but let's keep going. At the time of the stop, police noticed blood and a spent shotgun shell inside the vehicle, as well as blood on Thaler's hand, yet they released her after impounding the car. Makes
100% sense, doesn't it?
Y'all know I am not the type of person to pull the race card or the sex card or any cards. But let me say this. Nothing about them releasing her and what they charged her with make any sense. What are they basing that off of? I'm sorry, but if y'all see something that I don't, or maybe there's something in here that I'm missing, that makes no sense. I'm going to read it again because, like I said, maybe I'm just missing it. At the time of the stop, police note. Matter of fact, let's play the black card. I'm not going to lie. Let's do this. Let's just say me. Let's just say the man card. Let's say if it were me and the police pulled me over. There's a lot of police out there right now, right? And they notice blood in my car. And they also see a used shotgun shell inside my car. And they also see blood on my hands. Do y'all think that they're going to release me after impounding my car after seeing all of that information? If it were me. She's human. Women want to be treated equal, right? I thought women wanted equal rights, right? Equal rights. That don't sound real equal to me. I don't know of any man, let alone somebody who might share my particular skin hue, that would ever be able to get up. That makes no sense. They would never be able to get away with that. A subsequent search of the vehicle revealed the boy's body along with the shotgun that authorities said killed him. Police went to the mother's apartment and spotted her leaving the area on foot. Like, why would she stay there, right? She allegedly killed her kid, but let's keep going. Police later tracked the damage to the road caused by her tireless rim on Thaler's vehicle and found human remains, a child's car seat damaged by what police believe was a gunshot blast, and a backpack along the way. Police said that another unidentified individual, a 27-year-old man, was arrested at the same time, but that he will not face formal charges. Will not. N-O-T. Will not. Local media reports state that the man was a friend who accompanied Thaler to the gun range for practice. So maybe he didn't know, but let's keep going. Thaler and Eli's father, the mother and father, were fighting for custody of him. Mommy and daddy were fighting over custody. The reason I repeat myself is to reiterate a point. Why does that bother me so much? If you guys remember and go back and look on my channel, the Anaya Day Garrett story. Do y'all remember how that little girl died? If you don't, go back and watch the video. Anaya Day Garrett was murdered by her biological mother and mom's boyfriend 4 days before they were supposed to have a custody hearing in which the biological father, Michael Garrett, was expected to win his case in pursuit of his daughter and get custody of his child. And instead, mom and mom's boyfriend murdered the little girl and fake called 911 and act like they were trying to save her. Do you understand why I'm bringing that up in comparison to this particular story? Custody battle. And again, that also proves motive. If you're wondering what the motive was, that gives a clear-cut motive. That should be first. Why is that not first-degree murder? The boy who wanted to be a firefighter, wanted to help the world, isn't that something? Was previously in custody of social services after Dakota County filed a child in need of protection or service petition on his behalf back in January of 2021. Eli spent 457 days between county custody and family foster care. According to the GoFundMe campaign organized to help pay for Eli's funeral, the boy spent 11 months living with extended family members, but in December 2021, the judge allowed him to return to his mother's care for a home trial, which proved to be fatal. They were trying to raise... Y'all are going to be so mad at me. I have to do this. Would you guys like to see the GoFundMe? We're going to do this live. So for those who are watching, if you would, do me a favor and please click that thumbs up and share this story. Because I don't know if I saved the screenshot or not. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do this live. How about that? Let me know if you guys can see that on my screen. You may or may not be able to see that. How much they're asking for. Matter of fact, let me cut this GoFundMe down just a little bit. I'm going to make this even bigger. We need to go bottom. Make that bigger. Let me know if you guys can see that number. Can you guys see that number in that top right corner? Let me break out my trusty whiteboard real quick. Let me break out my trusty whiteboard. Let me change the color real quick so you guys can see in nice bright color. Right up here, I'm going to attempt to draw a pointer. Can you guys see that number? Not the number that they raised. I want y'all to see the number that they asked for. Thank you, Revenge. Thank you, Susie. Not what they raised, what they asked for. Hashtag babies for benefits, anybody? Custody battle, dead kids, fighting over custody, child not in their possession, right? Nikita K is the organizer of this campaign, creating this GoFundMe for Tori. He is the father of Eli, who was tragically killed and was located by the Orlando Police Department Friday, May 20th of 2022 in the trunk of his mother's vehicle. And she has a really long story on there. You guys can go and read this. $20,000. For what? For what? To lay their son to rest. And look, guys, y'all know I've been doing the best I can to try to not harp on these GoFundMes. And, you know, because I get it. You know, you do what you have to do. If you just don't have life insurance prepared at all, then fine. Put your GoFundMes up. Dad needs $20,000 for what? I want y'all to understand. From what I gather, I don't think he had, matter of fact, I actually know based on this article from people.com, Dad did not have custody. He was fighting for custody. Please don't argue with me just for the sake of arguing with me. Please tell me when I've said something that is factually inaccurate. Dad did not have custody. He legally still, even though his son is deceased, and I do want to send our condolences and prayers out to the family because we're definitely devastated to even hear that this happened. But if Dad did not legally have custody of his son, by the time his son lost his life in the worst way possible, usually with these crimes, the state will cover the burial. You can Google that. You can look it up. So if that's the case, then this funeral and burial was probably already covered. What do you need 20 grand for? Let alone 20 grand. But of course, this story hit the news like a propeller hits the water on a boat, and everybody felt it and heard it. And everybody's heartstrings were plucked, right? They felt bad, they felt sad, and rightfully so. But they not only gave $20,000, they gave him $45,000. And I'm just asking for a person who did not have custody, did not have legal custody of his child, $20,000 for what? $45,000 for what? Maybe, like I said, maybe I'm just too short-sighted to understand. I don't know. But nonetheless, that's allegedly to help pay for his burial. That's on people.com. Look the article up if you don't believe me. Due to many red flags Eli's mother was showing, Tory tried extremely hard to get custody. Tried to get custody. Did not have custody. Want to throw that out there again. The fundraiser's description alleged. Numerous parties made by many statements to CPS, fearing that mom would harm Eli if full custody were returned. Sadly, full custody was returned on May the 10th of 2022. That was not that long ago. A judge set her bail at $2 million. Why she even get a bail? It wasn't immediately clear if she had retained an attorney or entered a plea. But like I said, maybe there's something I'm missing. If you guys can give me clarity, that's what the live chat is for. Let me give you guys the fair usage. Let's get it. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. And if you guys would, like I say, when you're watching these stories, I understand everybody can get emotionally attached. If you would, do me a favor and click the thumbs up to share the memory of this baby boy, okay? To share the memory of Eli. Like I said, we're just trying to sort these things out and figure out what's actually going on here. Here are the news videos. Let's get it.
We have more on the tragedy in Orono involving the murder of a 6-year-old boy.
Police say it was at the hands of his own mother. Police found the body of Eli Hart in the trunk of a car on Friday morning. Today, his mother, Julissa Thaler, is officially charged with murder. Kate Raditz reports on what those charges reveal about her attempts to cover it up.
It's still so heart-wrenching.
Cherise Payne didn't know 6-year-old Eli Hart. She held back tears looking at his memorial over the Seton Channel on Lake Minnetonka. She brought her 6-year-old daughter.
I think just that he won't get to live his life like other kids.
The memorial was started by Back Channel Brewing.
We figured we had to to pay their respects.
Charges show Julissa Thaler was pulled over Friday morning while driving without a tire. The back window of her Chevy Impala was broken. There was blood in the car and a bullet hole in the back seat. But Thaler was let go before officers looked in the trunk and discovered Hart's body. The charges revealed there was also a shotgun. After finding the boy's body, police went to Thaler's apartment, but she was gone. Her clothes from the traffic stop, charges say, were in the washing machine. An online jail roster showed Thaler was arrested the next day. Police say she was found leaving the area on foot. Court documents say witnesses saw the vehicle in an Orono gas station shortly before the traffic stop.
Now to our other top story. The Spring Lake woman charged with shooting and killing her 6-year-old son faced a judge for the first time today. And there were lots of questions regarding how a mother with a court file full of red flags could be granted custody less than 2 weeks before she allegedly murdered her son.
Julissa Thaler is accused of shooting young Eli multiple times Friday, putting his body in the trunk of a car. Lou Raguse poured through hundreds of documents today. He joins us now with what he's learned. Lou?
Well, Randy and Julie, court records reveal the great lengths Julissa Thaler went to keep Eli from his father, who social workers noted was a positive influence on the boy. Yet, Thaler received custody.
Everybody failed him.
Just about anyone who's heard of the tragic case, the shooting death of 6-year-old Eli Hart, allegedly at the hands of his mother, has the same question. How did she have custody of him?
I am just outraged that people could fail a 6-year-old little boy like that.
Julissa Thaler has been filing reports regarding Eli's dad, Tory Hart, since she was pregnant. In this St. Paul police report, she accuses him of abuse, then later admits, quote, because of her mental health issues, she constantly accuses Hart of things he doesn't do. Tory Hart has never been charged based on Thaler's reports, and social workers note there's no evidence her accusations are true. But court records reveal the father filed for custody in March, and a week later, Thaler bought the shotgun she's now accused of using to kill her son. A child protection case had been ongoing since January 2021, when Thaler was hospitalized, according to court records, hearing voices and having paranoid delusions. As late as 2 weeks ago, officials overseeing the case told the judge they still had a number of concerns, including Thaler's mental health and her repeated attempts to keep Eli from seeing his father. But they still recommended the court give Thaler custody and close the protection case, in part to clear the way for Eli's father to fight for custody in family court. A judge agreed on May 10th, and Eli returned to Thaler's home full-time. 10 days later, the child was dead, his mom in jail charged with killing him, and everyone else wondering why all those red flags weren't enough.
The system didn't do enough to protect him.
Now, an expert in child protective services explained to KARE 11 that in Minnesota, an active CPS case would have to be closed, just like this one was, before a custody case could then proceed in court.
Off the top of 10 at 10, a mother is facing charges in the grisly death of her 6-year-old son.
Now, those details hard to stomach tonight. Eli Hart's body was found in the trunk of his mother's bloodied car in Mound last week. Authorities say 28-year-old Julissa Thaler shot Eli more than a half dozen times at close range with a shotgun. His belongings, including his booster seat damaged by gunfire, found dumped around town. Eli was reportedly in foster care for nearly a year before returning to his mother in December.
A lot of questions here, among them, did the child protection system fail this little boy? Our Maury Glover joins us live. So Maury, you actually spoke with Eli's foster mother tonight.
That's right, and she says his family is overwhelmed by all the support from the community, but she believes more could have been done to protect the little boy.
It really shook me as a mother of a young son myself.
On this fence along Lake Minnetonka, a steady stream of visitors leave flowers and messages to a young life taken too soon.
It's just shocking to me. It has really impacted me.
Julissa Thaler is now charged with second-degree murder for the death of her 6-year-old son, Eli Hart, whose body was found in the trunk of her car by Mound police during a traffic stop last Friday morning. Preliminary autopsy results show the boy had been shot as many as 9 times, and investigators say Thaler tried to cover up the crime by washing the clothes she was wearing when it happened and dumping other evidence at several locations around the area.
I'm feeling hurt. I'm feeling like a failure. I'm feeling numb. I think it's a lot of different emotions.
Documents show Eli had been the subject of a custody battle between Thaler and his dad, who went to court to get full custody, citing concerns over Thaler's mental health. Dakota County had placed Eli in foster care with relatives, but returned him to Thaler's custody in December over the objections of many, including his foster mom.
We were furious that, him being returned custody was even an option, because at that point, with all the red flags, the fact that numerous people were saying they feared for Eli's safety if he was returned to her, and that was ignored. So yes, we absolutely believe that CPS, Dakota County, they failed Eli.
Now, before tonight's city council meeting, Orono's mayor called for a moment of silence for Eli and his family, and I'm sure this memorial here will continue to grow in the next few days. Reporting live in Spring Park, Maury Glover, Fox 9.
A Minnesota mother is charged with murdering her 6-year-old son.
Tonight, we're taking a close look at how the boy ended up in his mother's care, despite concerns about her mental health. On Friday, Orono police found Eli Hart's body in the trunk of a car. Eli's mother, Julissa Thaler, was in the driver's seat. Court records show that she won custody of Eli earlier this month. David Schuman spoke with experts about why that might have happened, and he joins us now with the latest. David?
Yeah, the potential concerns with Eli's mother, Julissa Thaler, having sole custody of him were right in front of the child protection case investigators. But they recommended her have custody anyway, and the outcome is as tragic as it gets.
Eli Hart spent most of last year in foster care with relatives of his mother, Julissa Thaler.
I feared if she got custody back that she would harm Eli, if not worse.
The unimaginable happened. Orono police arrested Thaler this weekend after they say they stopped her for driving without a tire Friday. Officers say they saw a shotgun shell and a bullet hole in the back seat, and Thaler had blood on her hand. Eli's body was in the trunk. Investigators say shot up to 9 times.
I guarantee you all these people that worked on this so hard to figure out what is best for this child are just devastated. I can't even imagine.
More than one government caseworker recommended to a judge this month that Thaler be awarded sole custody of Eli. He'd been on a trial home visit since December, during which Eli got to see his father, Torrey Hart, as well. But go through the investigators' reports. Very concerned with Miss Thaler's mental health, concerned about the lack of stability with housing, concerned that Miss Thaler has not remained law-abiding. Also, though, no concerns about Eli's physical well-being and no current indication that her son is physically unsafe. Family law attorney Erin Turner, who isn't involved in the case.
And the goal of Child Protection Court is to reunite the child with the parent. It's very difficult to terminate parental rights. I mean, it's everybody's worst nightmare to get that wrong. And unfortunately, sometimes it happens.
Erin Turner, the lawyer I spoke to, noted that 1 or 2 reports should not be viewed as a complete picture of the situation. And she's right. We have not had a chance to review every document related to Eli and his care. She says mental health, though, is a rapidly growing issue in custody cases, especially since the pandemic.
It's just heartbreaking. All right, David, thank you.
Okay, guys, so let's get back into this really quickly. Yes, they said 9 times. That's exactly what I'm about to talk about. 2nd-degree murder and got shot 9 times. I'm just trying to figure out what is it about her or this situation, the fact that they were going through a custody dispute, the fact that she had already been proven to be an unstable, unfit mother, to have an unsuitable situation for her son, already had issues there, clearly had anger on her side, and turned around and went for training to murder her son and shot her son 9 times. 9 times, not once, not twice, not 3 times, not 4 times, not 5 times, not 6 times, not 7 times, not 8 times, but 9 times for a baby. And Minnesota is charging her with 2nd-degree murder. I would love to hear from the judge, from the prosecutor, from the state, from somebody to send me a statement. My email address is really easy to find. For anybody out there to let me know what is the extenuating circumstance that allows you to think that that's the correct charge. Because I understand that they bring about certain charges because they feel like that's what they're going to be able to get a conviction for. I understand it. I'm not completely out of the loop when it comes to the law. I know they try to charge what they can get a conviction on. But how is that not a slam, like they could say in the legal system, that is a slam dunk first-degree murder charge? How is it not? Eli was 100% failed. And we can continue to keep pointing the finger at the system and say that the system failed. Mom and dad failed. We need to start there. The failure starts and ends with mom and dad. Not being able to figure their stuff out, being emotional and fighting, when what they could have did was not bring this baby into this drama and bull crap to begin with. But too many of us end up forcing these children into this world, into unstable situations, because we sexually were not responsible, or because we brought children into unstable conditions and we weren't ready to be parents. I think this is the wrong charges. I think that this mother should never see the light of day. To the dad, like I said, I know what I said might seem wrong, and I think that if he's a logical person, he could at least understand why I would question, why they would ask for such an inordinate amount of money for a GoFundMe after your son has passed away. And I don't mean to be inflammatory about that. I really don't. But then for the people to go above and beyond that and donate, they can donate whatever they want to. I'm not against GoFundMe at all. But I'm just saying, when we make money off of the deaths of children, I think that should just be looked at. And I think that I'm one of the few people that continue to call that out. And I just think that behavior might be a little bit wrong, okay? So hopefully everybody understands where I'm coming from. But you guys are listening. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Life in prison, RIP, young Prince Eli. And condolences to the dad, man. This is just absolutely tragic for real. So life in prison for the mom. We would definitely want to see that through. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Hit the thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel, okay? Thank you.